Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're so glad you're here today. Today, we'll explore how to step back from our protective parts to help us connect more with our authentic self. Most of us are here because we're on our own trauma healing journey or support others on theirs. Many of us read The Body Keeps the Score by our founder, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk. In it, we learn that body-based approaches are very effective for working through psychological trauma. Since trauma alters our nervous system, including the nervous system in the healing process is critical. And that's what somatic treatments do. And utilizing a combination of treatments is very important because no single approach is typically sufficient on its own. That's why the Trauma Research Foundation is passionate about bringing you Integrate mind-body practice for working through trauma. Our goal is to share a diverse range of body-based therapies with as many people as possible for free. We want people to know there are a lot of options available and to have hope that some may be helpful to them. Another goal of Integrate is to give us the chance to not just talk about the approaches, but to embody them ourselves through practice. That's what we're going to do today, practice embodiment together. And we hope you walk away with a tool you can use or share right away. To help us to connect to ourselves during the session, we'll practice trauma-informed presence and we'll disable the chat during certain portions. We'll also have time for a short Q&A at the end of the session. I'm Mary Frangie. I produce Integrate, and I'm joined by my coworker, Connor McCann, who's working behind the scenes. We're so excited to introduce you to Loch Kelly and his session, Accessing Authentic Self for Embodied Healing. Loch Kelly is an award-winning author, meditation teacher, psychotherapist, and the founder of the 501c3 nonprofit Effortless Mindfulness Institute. Loch's meditation and wellness app called Mindful Glimpses won the Best Meditation App of 2025 on YouTube. Loch has co-taught workshops with Internal Family Systems founder Dick Schwartz on accessing authentic self for healing. His highly effective online and in-person courses synthesize ancient wisdom practices, neuroscience, and contemporary psychology. Loch has collaborated with neuroscientists at Yale, UPenn, and NYU to study how awareness training enhances compassion and well-being. Loch is known for his warm sense of humor and his guidance in healing trauma by accessing our authentic self, which is already inherent in each of us. He teaches an advanced yet simple methods and markers of how to live an embodied life of joy and compassion. Loch, we're so grateful to have you here. Thanks for being here. Take
Thank
it
you.
away.
Thank you, Mary. And thank you, everyone, for joining today. I'm really so grateful to be here and happy to be able to share what has been for me the most powerful dimension of healing my own trauma and helping others to heal their trauma, which is accessing this authentic self. There's many, many wonderful psychotherapies out there, many techniques that can be helpful to many people at different times in their life. But as you know, what Bessel, van der Kolk, and Dick Schwartz talk about as the undamaged essence, the core of who we are. They use this term self with a capital S. Yeah. So you can call it many things: higher self, deeper self, essential self. Some call it being. Thich Nhat Hanh calls it interbeing. In Buddhism, they call it the nature of mind, because it's foundational way of knowing all the other dimensions of ourself: physical, emotional, energetic, relational. What is it that knows this? What is it that knows thought? That's not a thought, that is this direct perception from our authentic self. So we're going to explore this today. We're going to do it very experientially. So I'll hope you'll join me. But of course, the invitation is always, if you like to, if you're not feeling up to having guided practices, you can always listen the first time and then come back later and do it in your own way, in your own time. Yeah. So I always want to give you permission and your parts permission to go at your own pace and enter into this. So we're going to begin with what I call 3 breaths, 3 ways. So these are body-based, short, little glimpse practices or touchstones that come from some of the ancient wisdom traditions, and most have been well researched as having positive effects. So let's begin with rubbing our hands together and just feeling some warmth. And you can even feel, some people can feel this kind of energy between the hands, others just feel kind of a tingling. And then what I'd like you to do is see if you can put usually your non-dominant hand right behind the base of your head. And you can close your eyes if you like, or keep them open. But the idea is to feel that warmth and that very human physical holding at the base of your spine, where your spine meets your brain stem. Almost like you're holding the head of a baby. So feel that support, and as if you're being held. So really send that message of primordial support into your whole being, from the physical to your nervous system, to your energy, to your awareness itself. And then just allow yourself to take a breath, and we'll move our hands. So now take your right hand and put the heel right where your heart is, and your other hand on your arm here. And this is called a self-depart hug or a heart hug, self-compassion hug. Yeah. So this, just taking a little deeper breath, let out a sigh. And you can feel that actually this hug does release oxytocin, just like the hug from another person. And really begin to feel as if you're sending and receiving equally. Receiving something greater than yourself that is supporting you, hugging you, being hugged. And from your authentic self, very physically, energetically, and essentially hugging all the inner parts of you. So welcome all your emotions, thoughts, feelings, and inner parts that may be here from that you have wanted to feel this unconditional love, and let them know that they can be seen and felt. Take another deep breath, let go. And now, as you let your hands rest, you can begin to take an inner breath through your nostril, through your belly, and then your chest, and up through your whole, every cell of your body, through your nose. Hold it for 1 second, and then breathe out slower and longer through your mouth. So just in your own time, in your own rhythm, without straining. Yeah? So just sending that message to the autonomic nervous system to come out of fight or flight, even if it's a slight background, and into this embodied presence. And one more time. And then just feel the effects. for one more moment. Rest and alert. And the next series of breaths, as you breathe in the same way through your nostril, then if you'll able to make a sound where you are, just hum. And as you do, move from this thought-centered vibration. In Buddhism, thinking is considered the sixth sense. So it's not I think, therefore I am, that hearing, seeing, and thinking are essential dimensions of consciousness that come to this awareness, to this authentic self. So we're going to breathe in and then we're going to hum. And as you do, feel like your awareness drops. And perhaps this hand gesture, you can put your hand on your heart space, the place where you say, I am. Yeah. So as you breathe in and then just make a humming sound and feel and again in your own rhythm. Feel that dropping of the center from your head to your full embodiment, down to your shoulders, like a river flowing down your body all the way to your seat and to your feet. So you're fully embodied equally from top to bottom. And just feel the effects of this whole-bodied sense of support. Feel the sense of your feet on the ground and your sense of all these dimensions of sensation, thought, feeling, coming and going energetically, all appearing to this awareness. And this third one, we'll be doing, I'll show you what it is first. You'll be lifting your arms in the air, which is very good for the vagal nerve. Your eyes can go up above the screen. You can do a little Mona Lisa smile. And then as if you're sending your awareness out like a bubble into the room to find this more spacious awareness that's equally inside and out. You'll open your vision, you'll open your presence, finding this support of the awareness that has your back, and then let it all go. Yeah, so we'll do that 3 times. So in your own way. So same in-breath as we do it. Ready? Breathing in, arms go up, smile goes up, eyes go up, awareness goes out, mingles with the already awake field of self, and let it go. And nothing to do, nowhere to go, just being. And again, just in your own time and rhythm, breathing in, arms go up, eyes go up, smile goes up, awareness goes out, mingles with this spacious support that's all around and within, and let it go. And really kind of feel that reset of your day as if you've let everything go and come into your natural, already here, alert presence of this authentic self. And one more time, arms go up, eyes go up, smile, up, awareness opens to receive, and let it all go. And just let everything be. Notice physical form, contact, pressure, weight. Notice energy, changing, coming and going. And just don't interpret thoughts or emotions. Welcome all parts that are here without having to let one of them take over the center. And then just notice the body's feelings and thoughts, whatever they may be. Some tiredness, some feeling of energy. And then simply notice that whatever the feelings are and whatever you're aware of, see if you can rest for a moment and let the awareness be aware of itself. So the awareness is usually aware of thoughts, feelings, sensations, body. What if the subject and the object were the awareness that is subtler and here and interconnected with your whole body, energy, and form, so that you can be alert without being lost in thought? And start to feel this sense of authentic self to which everything's arising. So feel that orientation, that space and presence, the here-ness and the interbeing. Notice whatever arises, it's more about who or what is it arising to, rather than creating a thinker or a manager. Let thoughts be objects, let parts arise without having to be the center. Yeah, just getting a feeling for this, starting with a very bottom-up approach. So that is a little basic beginning for today, and love to hear some responses. You can type them in to the Q&A just to say, uh, really almost speaking from self, authentic self. What is this feeling of being? That's what we're interested in. We're not interested as much in the content. It will come up. It may even arise or parts may protect, but we're still staying 51%. Whatever the movement and the dance of contents, parts, feelings, we're a little more interested in this. Who is this that's aware, that isn't in pain, that isn't sleepy? This dimension that's not worried, not fearful. Is there a dimension that also is with that which is fearful? Non-fear, non-worry, non-shame, with parts that have these. Yeah, has more clarity and compassion, curiosity. So,
Some of the responses are calming, lightness, lightness of being in this moment, incredible peace and gratitude. I needed that. Thank you. Regulating, that was amazing. I feel so calm and centered. I'm very present, at peace, very calming, very self-nurturing, connected, light, centered, grounded, relaxed, smooth. I feel like satin.
mm,
Grounded, centered, peaceful, sense of depth,
mm,
loving, happy, love the no judgment part of whatever comes, emptiness in a good way.
yeah,
Eyes are watering. I'm so relaxed and my mind is quiet. Spaciousness, feeling I'm okay.
mm, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. So, this quality of okayness, essential well being, is always here. This is the premise of what Bessel talks about and Dick Schwartz talks about, and these ancient wisdom traditions talk about, is that it isn't something that needs to be developed like a skill or having to become an Olympic athlete of meditation, that this is our undamaged essence that is here. With it isn't spiritually bypassing our feelings and humanness and trauma. It actually makes us more fully human to access this, which can bear what seemed to be unbearable. Yeah. And then can really go into what many people already know in what they do in their free time, which is like a flow consciousness. So there's a joy, your eyes are open, you're walking in nature, you're with children, you're with animals, you drop out of your head into your body, you feel open, welcoming, naturally, and even in this flow consciousness, people can optimally function. So it's not just a leaving or what sometimes is emphasized or thought of as meditation, having to go away. But what we're talking about is engaging and responding. Yeah. And so that's wonderful. Let's do another few of these little glimpses, is what we call them. So since this authentic self is already here, then you don't have to sit for 5 days to discover it. You learn how to tune in or drop or let go or surrender or shift, whatever that is to you. Open, include, unblend, receive. You'll feel this, and what you're doing is you're finding the home base that's hidden by this current constellation of consciousness that is, in some ways, just a developmental stage for most of us. So there's nothing wrong with this. It's not bad. It's not, but just evolutionary and developmentally, we're going to work with a part of us now that often is in the center. And it's here to make us safe and to thrive. And you could call it the problem solver. I don't know if you ever find that one that's scanning for danger outside, looking, is there a problem out there? And then looks inside, oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? Is the problem? Oh, what is that thought? I don't know if I should do that. And gets involved trying to be the manager and solve a problem. And because it's solving a problem, it's always looking for a problem to solve. And so it keeps winding itself up and creating an obscuration and a kind of a perpetual uh, film or way of keeping us from, as if we're in a storm cloud and we're trying to clean up the storm cloud. And all we're going to do is we're going to step back from the storm cloud or open up to realize there's a sky here. And then, importantly, as the sky, we're going to come back into the storm cloud and realize, okay, that's part of me too. There's this, but now we have this dimension of subtler awareness and presence that isn't caught in this small sense of self. So this one is a simple inquiry that starts with feeling this blendedness with a problem. So you may even think, all right, I don't know if I can do this inquiry. You know, that may be a problem. Maybe I won't get it right. I don't know if, there may be a part of you that's kind of trying to do things right or doubts you can do it right. Either way. So just feel that problem solver that tends to be a conscious and unconscious part of you, and thank it for all its hard work. Not getting rid of it, we're asking it to be part of the team. So ask it if it can give you some space, it can soften back so that you can open up. So here's the inquiry. So when this problem solver relaxes and you remain here, what's here now, just now, when there's no problem to solve? So when the problem solver relaxes and your awareness opens, can you feel that silence, that clarity, awake space, peace that doesn't have to orient to thought to be alert? And can you be aware of this authentic self essence, undisturbed And now, can you rest as this awareness-based knowing? Just for a moment, just to open out of that storm cloud. Rest is the sky. And now, what's the relationship between this alert awareness and the first vibration, sensation, feelings, thoughts, your body, and the room, if they're not separate? What does it feel like to just be, to welcome, and now start to welcome any parts that come in from this greater capacity, right? Because we're not avoiding problems, we're upgrading the problem solver to this greater capacity that has more love, more curiosity, more bandwidth. So, what does it feel like to be here and even maybe move your hand from here and put it down? And now maybe do a simple mental task like remember your phone number. And then put that down and notice what peace of mind is. And just be curious what the next thought that arises will be. Just stay in this alert presence that is thought free. Could use thought, could move your hand. What is the next thought that will arise? Just curious. Notice the more space and thoughts as tools, objects, senses. Here if needed, but don't have to live in this chattering mind. So there is the second glimpse practice that is kind of a inquiry, what's here now, and there's no problem to solve. So what do you notice? So from here, the question is this a meditation state or is this actually returning home to self-leadership, to authentic potential that you could talk from, walk from, create and relate? Is this essentially who we are that was covered over and we're dehypnotizing from this trance? So we're in this more natural condition. What does that feel like? And if you could live from here, would you want to? This is then your own motivation. So let's hear from a few of you if you'd like to type in, and again, kind of typing from this presence. And you'll notice that typing is actually one of the activities that's done from flow consciousness because you're not thinking about the keyboard. You actually have input it and then you type without having to know where each key is, right? So you're kind of trusting this optimal functioning. So what do you say about this upgrading of the to authentic self?
The witness, totally in tune with only nature. Safety, I'm at ease with myself. I'm free. Waves, feels like quiet empowerment, and I love living from this integrated state.
Mhm.
I'm in a trance, feeling safe, ease, relieving. It feels like panic for me, actually. Yes, it is love, presence, free. I feel anxious with a pit in my stomach. I feel integrity, freedom. I love being able to be alert in this space and not feeling I have to be in some other detached realm. Serenity. Wow. Yes, living from this space. Emptiness, spacious awareness, openness. The calm was pushing the problem solver out and reassuring them.
Mm.
Open, spacious, unattached, peaceful. I feel more grounded, accepting, and positive than I realized I am. It's I've never been so quiet. Beautiful, amazing how close this state is all the time and how easy it can be to forget about it.
Mhm.
Feel buoyant and happy. Appreciate thought and can reside in a spaciousness. So many more comments.
Yes, so good. Yeah, wonderful to hear. And and people certainly this is the key of this system is there are parts that will come up that are protectors that don't know yet this state. And so they'll be like, what's going on here? This is new. So just the welcoming and the, you know, as we did in the beginning, just kind of next time you try one of these, which may not be that exact one, but it could be another, is just to acknowledge them and thank them from the beginning and ask any parts to thank them for the protection and ask them to step back and just begin to experience even a glimpse, a little drop of same taste of this presence, and then see if it can become more familiar. So it's a process, but for many, it also is something we know from our what we do in our free time, and that can be really helpful. What if you could, the thing you love in your free time that you do, right? Walking in nature. Uh, I have one I won't do today. It's called the memory door, where you go and you remember a time when you were there or you accessed this, and then you come back here and realize it's not about the people, place, thing, activity. It's you, and that is your doorway, that activity or that group or that presence of nature or animals or is a touchstone. But we can we can find a way to access this anywhere, anytime. So wonderful. So let's do one more here. So that one often there's that one's kind of an outer door. We went from small problem solver and then opened to space and then came back to include everything. This one we're going to drop down from and stay within our body and then open up and come back. So this one's called dropping from head space to heart space or heart mind. Yeah. So what we'll do is literally feel as if the awareness that's identified with the thinker and the listener and the manager system, which tends to be for most people somewhere in this area of our head. But when we go into flow consciousness, we actually drop into this more holistic embodied presence. So, what we're going to do is feel as if this awareness that we just met is not only spacious, but it can kind of recenter us. It can move, can drop from thinking to seeing to hearing, can join with another sense, then it can join with our bodily sense, at our smile, at our throat, and then feel as if the awareness can go behind and below our emotional heart and into this safe heart space, what's called the heart mind or the boundless heart, which is connected to this authentic self, the feeling of kind of authentic compassion, unconditional love. Yeah, so let's give that a try. If you're open to it, then you can always do this, try this again later on by watching the video. So you just begin with a normal sense of listening to what I'm saying and looking, and then realize that you're trying to understand what I'm saying. So often the thinker or the ego manager or the doer is in the center. But once you realize that those thoughts and those parts, that they have self within them, or they have this awareness which is identified with them. So this awareness can simply notice that it's blended, and then you can ask this part and any other parts that might be here, you can thank them for their protection and concern, any fearful parts or worried parts, just notice them and ask them if they'll rest back and be aware of what's going on. Just to taste it for just a few minutes, and then you'll come back to them. So just feel as if, as you ask for some space, the awareness drops from thinking to seeing. So letting thought go into the background, let seeing become more open, panoramic, receptive. And then feel as if that awareness, like a bubble of awareness, moves to hearing. Just hearing. So neither focused on what you're hearing or finding who's hearing, just hearing. Hearing without a hearer. Awareness and hearing. And then feel as if this awareness, which is very embodied and here, can drop to your smile and your jaw, and can feel as if there's a direct perception of your neck and your throat. So the subject and the object are knowing directly from within, as if the center has dropped, and then feel as if awareness drops below your neck into your whole body. As if you can feel your body from within. Go below the emotional heart, which can sometimes catch some people, and find a safe space, like a living stream that finds this open-hearted, tender, awake space. And be aware of your heart space, and be aware from your heart space. So resting as this heart space, feeling as if it's in front, and then feeling the middle of your body as if this are opening back to the back of your body. This heart space opens, and then it can open at the speed of awareness to discover the awareness that has your back. So feel as if you can notice this support of invisible presence without needing to know what it is, but just opening to this interbeing, this self that isn't just limited to your body, as if the awareness mingles with this awareness and then mingles with the aliveness, your breath, your sound, and then arises as your whole body and looks out of the eyes of your heart. So feel as if you're receptive from your eyes, your ears, and all the information from your memory and your brain goes down as if through Wi-Fi. So you can rest at home in your heart space and not live in the office of your head. And just see what it's like to be at home, home sweet home, in this boundless heart that opens out and receives and feels this connection to everyone and everything in a subtle, awareness-based way, not taking on anyone's energy, but just knowing there's a same, that we're all connected to everything living. And feel this wisdom and compassion, this sense of trust and courage that you can move from here, do from here, respond from here in a softer and more clear way. So hanging out here, what do you say? What's it like to, sometimes these instructions, when you are called orientation instructions, so just reorienting to your full body, to be embodied at the subtlest level, which includes energetic body, physical body, and then feel the capacity to welcome any parts of you, any emotions, that arise and welcome them. Don't try to push them away, but mingle with from this greater authentic self to let these parts know that you're here, that you care, you're willing to listen, and that someone is available and it's you. So, what do you say here about resting as this authentic self in this human heart and boundless heart?
It was beautiful, beautiful, a calm vibrancy, serenity, come back to life. My heart is calm, caring, expansiveness, very grounding. I love the invitation to mindfully observe without labeling. Very emotional to meet the part that has had my back all this time.
Mm,
So peaceful that I drifted in and out of sleep. The world needs this. I'm free from worry. I'm calm and open. It's life-giving. I have a sense of calm agency.
mm,
Feel relief, relaxed, open, connected. I feel so filled with love. I'm stuck to my seat because I'm grounded. Soothing, peaceful, some tears, an experience of warm white yellow light.
mm,
I'm accepting myself. My fingertips insist on touching.
mm.
I'm inside a gentle cloud. I feel love. I feel open, warm, welcoming, holding. This is what it means to live life, to experience the moment that is passing through you,
Yeah.
and and then experience the next moment and then the next.
Yeah. So this, what if this isn't a meditation, that this is an introduction or a return or a glimpse of who we are that's just been covered over by other activity and other relative um, parts that are managing, that are trying their best. And again, that's one of the most important things, is to realize there's no bad parts. They're all literally, their all intention is to get love and connection and peace. But they're earlier versions of how to get it. And so they're stronger, more um, survival oriented. So they've been, um, so now the opportunity is to really see whether it is possible that this dimension of our being, this authentic self or no self or interbeing, can be where we respond from. And it is clear that it actually is more optimally functioning. So it's not, so some of the meditation tends to take us out of the world and make us more passive. And some of our inner psychological work is, trying to fix everything from a small ego that's smart, or even a caring part that no part can manage the power of trauma, no matter how smart and capable and learned it is. It's only this unconditionally loving presence that is who we are, that can heal and that can live even while we're healing, which is pretty much most of our life. There's always, we're not going to become insensitive. We're going to be continue to be sensitive human beings and live with the ups and downs. So this, if it all arises to this open-hearted presence, this authentic self, what is more important than learning how to do this? Yeah. So, hopefully you'll get a chance to try some of these glimpses, and love to see you in any of the little more in-depth classes, or check out my my app that has um, a lot of different doorways for different types of learners and things like that. So I thought we'd do one more short one just to kind of upgrade or add something to a kind of IFS practice where many people get caught in what's called a self-like part. So we'll do this just very short, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. Um, so what I've found, having done supervision and training with Dick Schwartz and others that have come to me, is there is the ability to move from accessing some part that is, causing some disruption or pain or worry or fear, and then to ask for some space, and then to land in either a witness part, a mindful witness, or a caring uh, psychological part uh, that is really a polarized part. It has even the all the 8 C's, but it's still not self. So that making this next move, so if you assume that even no matter where you start, that that first move is to um, a polarized part from a disturbed or upset part. Are you aware of this part in or around your body? Yes. Where is it? Oh, it's here in my throat. Can you ask it for some space? Yes. How do you feel toward it? Oh, I feel sorry for it. Oh, I feel some care for it. Those are often polarized parts. So we're going to do this next move and then come back, which is very similar to what we just did. And then you see what that feels like. Yeah. So just choose a part of you. You can use like the problem solver or the thinker, like we did. One of the easier parts is often one of the managers, starting with a manager that is uh, not a negative part, but is kind of a one that feels like me, is often a good place to distinguish the feeling of self from a self-like part. But just find a part in or around your body, a feeling, an emotion, any attitude that you have right now, maybe doubt or worry or concern, and see if you can find that as a part of you, so that there's a part of me that's doubtful, there's a part of me that's lost in thought, there's a part of me that's worried, and then find that in or around your body. Ask for some space. Thank that part for being concerned with what's is your safety. Ask for some space, and then notice that you're aware of it and see how you feel toward that part. See if you can feel that you were this part, you thought this was you, then you realized it was a part, and now you're witnessing this part. And now ask who or what is aware of both those parts. If this witness is a polarized part, what's it like to open and be aware of the initial part and this witnessing part? And what does that feel like? How do you feel then toward these two parts? And see if you can distinguish that kind of open hearted presence that has this quality of self that isn't a part, that has more wholeness and connection, so that it's actually within each of the parts and it's not just the first part that's an observer that has feelings toward it. It actually is like, oh, we're the same. See if you can feel that. So it was a little short, short, short one. Maybe I do it in a more expanded way when we have more time, but I want to leave some time for report, and then we'll open it up for any questions. So let's go to see if that makes sense, especially to those who have done this kind of work before, or maybe it was just kind of an aha, even here.
The chat is open if anyone would like to place their feedback there. Got a bit lost, but I think I got a taste of it. Emotions, tears. I love this locating and validating self. But can parts unburden if they need to, or do they have to stay asleep? I feel tingly. I'm so relaxed and I'm physically sleepy, but calm and in a peaceful place. I recognize how important it is for me to be consistent with daily with self-validation. I notice that I'm always at my self. I felt like planets floating in space.
So good. Yeah, thank you. Connection to a larger source. I saw that. So yeah, wonderful. That I just thought I would throw that little one in there at the end, but hopefully you have gotten a taste for some of these others. And just as we are aware from, whatever arises and is painful or we have to attend to it, to attend to authentic self every day. And even as we start with normal meditation, calming the body, calming the mind, doing yoga, exercise, some kind of meditation on contents of consciousness, to rest the awareness back to that which everything's arising to and is not separate from who we are. So finding this simple doorways, whatever works for you, and then notice how what capacity this has to be with the most difficult emotions that arise when you get triggered during the day, how it can pop you out into this kind of, oh, wow, okay, all right, just come, stay with yourself. It's okay. You don't have to react. Here we go. That's all right. And you'll start to feel in the Tibetan tradition, they call it grandmother awareness that comes to you as you discover your true nature. You become like the great grandmother to your inner children. Yeah. So we can
I-
open it up for any
Yeah,
questions.
I like what Christy said in the comments, and I
Okay.
think it's helpful for everyone. She said, "Thank you for noting that the first part to show up will likely be a self-like part." That
Yes.
really helped me to set it aside. It's a
Yeah.
good reminder for all of us. And in the Q&A, people are able to upvote questions. So I'm
Mhm.
going to take a look at a couple of questions that had several upvotes
Mhm.
to them.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Um, so Alexandru is asking, what do you recommend to those of us who find mindfulness and breathing triggering?
Yes. Okay. That's an excellent question. So, so using other sense doors of the senses. So like hearing is one of the best things rather than breathing. So if you can move your awareness to just hearing and feel connected to the sounds in the room, the sounds of nature, you can even play, um, some simple bells, or that's why often chanting and gonging and things like that are good for people rather than breathing, because breathing can be triggering for some people. So finding a way to, the first dimension is soothe the nervous system, calm the animal body, and you know, uh, calm the chattering mind as much as possible as preliminary. So whatever that breathing doesn't have to be the way. So you can find something that works for you, and then open to a presence that will be more calming than your breath, which is your authentic self.
Mm, that's really helpful. Thank you. Noel is asking, and several people have voted this. Noel says, this is so accessible, but I get so distracted, fidgety, and I have trouble focusing or staying present. Could that be one of my parts, or is that just how
Mhm.
my brain works?
Both. I think it's there's parts that get distracted, and our brain, if you're our usual way of relating to automatic thoughts is whatever arises, we just get involved. And we follow those automatic thoughts, which are 80% of them the same every day. And there's like, what about this? Okay, what about that? And we get involved. So we have to find a way to unblend or detach or glimpse or let go. So and trust that those inner dialogue, the thinking is mostly inner images, inner movies, and inner talk that you don't have to pay attention to. If you let it be like talk at a tables behind you in a restaurant, and then you focus on the piece and the space, and then you realize that that is just aliveness, just like physical sensations. It's like mental sensations. So finding a way. That's why I created these glimpses because they don't require you wrestling with your mind. If you do traditional practice, you're either watching your breath or a point, or you're just sitting, and you just have to spend at least a certain amount of time to let your mind calm down. And some people it won't. So this is literally, okay, no problem. That's doing that. Now step out, drop, open, then include. So you'll find that, yeah, finding a new way that works for you.
Great. All right. I think we only have a minute or two left, but this was also upvoted. And um, Avani is asking, are there any contraindications for body-based therapies when trauma is involved? For instance, I've read that meditation and yoga may not particularly be helpful for clients with depression who are already in a state of hypoarousal.
Mhm.
Is it as it could potentially push the nervous system into shutdown? What are your thoughts on that, Locke?
Yes, there's definitely, I mean, certainly body-based, can be, especially trauma that's body-based trauma. I mean, the body keeps the score. It holds all trauma, but those who have had, you know, physical trauma, sexual trauma, abuse, that there needs to be, some other way of finding holding or calm, um, or peace that feels safe, that may start more with subtler dimensions and then allow your body to relax. And certainly starting with whatever helps, whatever, be curious with the clients about what is it that gives you not only calm, but finding a source of energy too, if it is hypoarousal, to find some brightening or opening of new kinds of energy that may be subtler than just, activity.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Locke, thank you so much for being here. This has been an excellent session. We got a lot of practice in. We're so grateful for you. Thank you to our wonderful audience. You'll find the replay in the TRF Somatic Library. Feel free to share it with everyone. And please fill out the feedback form that opens when you exit the Zoom. It really helps inform us how to grow, integrate. We can't wait to see you all next time. Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Peace.